So when we kind of think about the future of basically every single iPhone that's going to be coming out, it's fun to kind of look back at the past and kind of think about what the last great iPhone was. Meaning the last iPhone that pretty much everyone as a consensus could probably say that it was probably the best iPhone or a great iPhone. And I want to say with this generation, the 15s, I don't really think there's anything this particular iPhone has that the other ones haven't already had. I don't think there's like some groundbreaking feature or anything like that where I look at the iPhone 15s and I'm like, you know what, this is the best iPhone, or this is the last great iPhone Apple's pretty much going to be making, and it's only really going to be going downhill from here. But when I look back the last couple of years, even the 14s weren't like these crazy iPhones that I looked at and where I was like, oh my god, these are like the best iPhones too. Like that's an example of like another iPhone that I look at and be like, you know, it wasn't that monstrous of an update. But the generation right before that, the iPhone 13s, the 13, 13 mini, 13 Pro, and 13 Pro Max, as a whole, as a consensus, I would probably say these are probably the last great iPhones Apple has ever made. And the reason I say that is because these iPhones had everything you could probably ever think of inside of these iPhones. Now, with the sizes, you pretty much had the smallest iPhone and the biggest iPhones Apple's ever made at these moments. Now, of course, they still maintain the same sizes for a majority of them, but for, as small as that with 5.7-inch display all the way up to that 6.7-inch display, you have a massive, range of devices that you can actually choose from, which is actually very, very cool. And that was honestly a very cool thing that Apple did there. Now, they've removed the mini lineup, so that's another big thing. If you wanted a small iPhone, really your last good one that you could actually buy was the 13 mini. On top of that, with the iPhone 13, this was a very good iPhone too, pretty good upgrade coming from the iPhone 12s. And so much so, in fact, that the iPhone 14s pretty much used the same chipset as the iPhone 13, which was honestly pretty insane. But then we get into the Pro and Pro Max models. These were, in my opinion, some of the best iPhones Apple has ever made, ever. These are such solid iPhones. In fact, my 13 Pro is still kind of the one I use on an everyday basis. And this iPhone, has that Apple, A15 Bionic chip. It had a really good chipset inside, but also had that ProMotion, display. Having that 120Hz display was amazing. And again, that in and of itself was a very, very cool thing that we actually had on this type of device. So that was something that I looked at and I was very, very happy about. And once again, that kind of stuff is so cool. Having that type of display, having that type of functionality is just amazing in and of itself. So that kind of stuff is really cool. And I will tell you overall, this is a very solid iPhone. All the iPhone 13s were very good. And when I look at those specific devices, I pretty much will tell you those are kind of like the best iPhones I can kind of think of. Those are the ones that I look at as almost being the last great iPhones Apple has pretty much ever made. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.